Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today we're checking out the H05B SST20, made by Sofirn, but not sold under their own name. It's kind of like the D25 series, like the D25S and D25LR that you can check out. I've already done reviews on those. Only this thing is insanely bright and very quirky. It's got a very quirky UI. So the video is going to be a little bit longer because I've got to go through the UI because it's bloody insane. Anyway, let's talk about the specs. I must say, because it's not a Sofirn branded light, they do go very soft on the specs, but they do tell you the LEDs. So you do get 3 SST20s in cold white, so 6500K tints, but I don't mind the SSTs in a cold white because they're kind of greenish and I like that green hue. And you get 2 red LEDs. The red LEDs are not actually branded. So this claim to fame of this light is it is insanely bright, but I didn't find that out until I started testing it the other day for this video. So Sofirn claimed it was 2000 lumens, and when I was testing it I was only getting like about 1000 and a bit, and then I realized it's because it's got a bunch of hidden modes and Sofirn does not give you any instructions. So those SST20s are running at about 9 to 8.5 amps. I took a video or a photo, I can't remember, that I'll add here. Look at what we got. 8.7 amps. Oh, it's burning my hand. Almost 9 amps. Not bad. Not too bad at all. So let's run over the specs. Not really much to say because they don't tell you the modes. So basically it's IPX6, runs on one 18650. It is kind of upgraded to the, I think it's this side. Which side is the switch? It is kind of upgraded to the D25S and R series and stuff because it is running a USB-C that is hidden. The other ones only run a micro USB. That's neither here nor there because they do give you one in the box, but they don't give you any instructions, which is pretty funny. I guess one thing I should say, it is part of the specs. It's only like $17 US, so it is extremely cheap. Like I can't even buy 3 SST20s on a board for $17 US. That is insanely cheap. So USB Type C for charging, so that's the charging port. They reckon throw is 150 meters. I could only get 2,000 to 3,000 CD out of this, so it's not going to throw very far. You know, the reflector is extremely shallow, so it's a super floody beam. They reckon the beam pattern is a 120 degree angle, so that is pretty much what you want for a headlamp, because you don't want a headlamp to be too throwy if you're working in your hands. It is extremely light, only weighs 76 grams, so it is lighter than the rest of the D25 series. Well, it's not even part of the D25 series, but it does look pretty similar, right? There's not too much difference between these two. What else? It's 86 mils in length, 39 mils this way in width, and 25 mils for the battery tube, made out of aluminium alloy. It looks like it's hard anodizing type 2 because it is pretty shiny. It doesn't scratch too easy. Actually, it's the second time shooting this video, and the first time I got something and I scratched the lens and it scratched pretty easy, so I'm going to say it's a plastic lens. Yeah, I would say it's a plastic lens. So not the best lens and stuff, but it is built down to a price. You're only paying like $17 US. Unlike these D25s where you can undo here, if we have a little quick look around the light. So hang on, I'll put this in the build part. So build quality overall is really good. It's not going to be easy to get apart. These lights never are. Like, I damaged this one really bad trying to get this off, and I never got this off. Anyway, to access the switch. So plastic lens, it looks like it's kind of glued in place here, so you can see how it kind of looks like they slide this bit on and it's glued in place. So it's kind of like a weird design, I guess. Let me take this out of here. 18650, looks like a bronze spring there. Got an LG cell in there. O-rings there, so it should be fairly waterproof, as they say. You undo the side here. You got an O-ring there to protect the charger. So overall, not too bad. Now for 17 bucks, it's actually like amazing build quality. I don't think there's anything else that you can get on the market that is this bright for this cheap. Other upgrades compared to the D25 series is this switch lights on the side, but it does turn off after a bit of time. So not sure what they want that there for, but maybe it indicates if there's a low battery. I really can't tell you guys because they haven't told me, and I haven't really had a chance to go through all of that yet. As they say, third time's a charm, third time filming this part, because I've been taking too long, and now I'm already wasting your time. Alright, so I'm going to go through and put the listing up of what Sofirn lists on this light as its specs. You'll see it's very bare and very minimum. I'm not really going to tell you the output because I do not have a calibrated light meter, so I'm going to be off. But I will tell you, it's got 5 standard modes when you click the switch. So it's got 5 modes in here, so you click the switch, the side switch once, and then you push and hold to change modes. Now, where I stuffed up and where it's pretty hard to figure out is the fact that it has 2 hidden modes. So when you push and hold, that'll lead you to like a super low mode. So this is like a moonlight mode basically. It's only putting out 200 milliamps, so it's going to be around, you know, not the lowest of low modes, but it is going to be really low. I'm not even going to guess.
Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
To be honest. And to get to the highest mode, you actually got to double click, and it's like a hidden high mode. So this high mode is doing about 8.5 to 9 amps, and I'll put a video showing you off the amp current that it pulls. You know, when I've done a ceiling bounce test on this, it's getting over 120 lux, which means it's well over 2000 lumens, which would make sense because, you know, 3 SST20s at that high amperage of about 9 amps should be about, what, 900 lumens each, 1000 lumens each. So it is a friggin' bright light. That also means only being 76 grams, it does step down and it does get hot very, very quickly. So it does have this little quirk that once it's too hot, it will not turn back on the high mode. So we go normal mode. So I'm not sure what mode that is, so I'm just going to cycle modes. So you'll see the 5 modes here. So that's the highest mode. I measured this well above 1000 lumens. It's about 1300 lumens. It's pulling 4.5 amps. Next mode down is less than half of that. It's only pulling 2 amps. So you're only going to be doing about, what, 400 lumens, 500 lumens max. Next mode, we'll say mode 3, 1 amp. I'm not going to guess the output, maybe 200 lumens, I'm not sure. I said it and then I guessed it anyway. Next one down is 560 milliamps. You know, low but not too low. You can still see it. That's all I'm going to say. And next mode below that is 30 milliamps. So yeah, and then if you click, it should turn off. But there's also sometimes where you click and you click again, and it will then go into red mode. The red LEDs on high mode pulls 1.6 amps. I should say all these modes, except for the click the extra modes, have a memory mode. So we'll cycle modes. So this is the highest mode, on red. Highest mode is 1.6 amps. Medium mode is 1 amp. And then the low mode is 500 milliamps. I've really got no way to test that, guys, because even in the ceiling bounce test, it's not really going to test very, very well. That's pretty much it. It does have like a strobe and stuff, so you can double click and it will get you into some sort of strobe. Maybe you can push and hold and cycle modes here. I'm not sure, because they don't give you a UI. It's a bit hard to tell. We'll turn it back on, and even when it's on mode, if you click and hold, that cycles modes, but you can double click to get to your turbo mode from on mode or off mode. So it's like an instant, turn that off. And you see what I mean? When you cycle modes, I know I'm kind of getting a bit confusing here, guys, but if we leave it for a second or a minute, it's not going to let you go into red mode. It just turns itself off. But let's just say we cycle modes, and then it will let you click to the red mode. So kind of a little bit different UI. It would have been good if they would have given us like instructions, but it is what it is. Apparently it does have strobe mode in white mode, but I cannot find it. Even if we go like that, well, that just got to it, but it's kind of like you're going to do all these random clicks and, sorry, it's probably hurting everyone's eyes. It's hurting my eyes. Turn it off. So yeah, so besides the UI, I'm only really going to use it in the base UI, which is on and then cycle modes anyway. So for me, it's fine. And you know, to have the instant moonlight mode is awesome, because that might be all you need when you're out fishing. These beam shots are going to be a pain in the ass. Alright, right now we've got the lowest mode on. That's the hidden mode, the 200 milliamp hour mode. Yeah, you can see not a whole lot of lumens. It's very, very dim still, but like enough for you to get around. It looks more than it looks on the camera. You know, you can see the doorknob fine. And if I go like that, you can see that there's a key in there. So yeah. Okay guys, so now this is the lowest mode in the 5 mode setting. So in your standard modes, this is the lowest mode. This is the one that measured about 300 milliamps. So yeah, it's a lot brighter than that moonlight mode, because that moonlight mode is very dim. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass to do this, because if I cycle it, it's only going to go to high mode now. Okay guys, so this is mode 2 in the 5 mode setting. You can see quite a lot of light already, so it does step up quite a bit. Can't remember what this milliamp, sorry, what the output was on this. I believe this was the 500 milliamp setting. It was drawing from the battery, so that's still 2 watts, somewhere around about there, I think. So not bad. Does put out a lot of light. Okay, so now we're getting into the media stuff. This is mode 3, which is halfway through the output on the 5 mode settings. It doesn't look that bright on camera, but it does make it 20 meters to the back of the fence, and it also lights up like the whole area. I have to show you guys on the high mode, but like you can see side to side really, really good because of that floody beam. Okay guys, so this is the second highest mode in the 5 mode output. So on the standard settings, quite a lot of output from this mode. I believe it's about 2 amps it's drawing. So yeah, it does light up the backyard really well. You can see, because the beam pattern is so wide, it does kind of waste a bit of light. So if you see up here in the tree, even if I'm looking down, it still does flood out the area quite a lot. That's why on the ceiling mount test, it's pretty hard to measure. You'd need like a proper light box to measure this light. And even then, because it's so floody, it'll be pretty hard to read, I think. Okay, so this is highest mode in the 5 output standard mode. You can see quite a lot of light. It is definitely over 1,000 lumens, drawing 4.5 amps from the tail cap. This one I can be sure about. And you can see my network of wires running across the yard right now, and that's what I'm using for my shortwave radio. So if I show you guys the sweep, you can see exactly how like much light side to side that this thing puts out. So I'm still looking straight, and like look at how wide the beam is. I'm kind of like, you can see the camera there, you can see like it's casting a shadow, but I'm standing to the left of it. Yeah, quite a lot of light, and also quite a big wide beam pattern. Alright, we'll switch it next to turbo. Might just let it cool down for a second if it's a bit hot. Okay guys, so now we got the highest mode on, which is the double click mode, the hidden mode. I would never have found it if I didn't do this video, so it's pretty good that I actually bothered to do the video, because that mode would have stayed hidden for ages. Super bright. It's going to step down soon, but look at how much light that is. 9 amps on your head with a lot of heat, and it's way too bright. I've got to clean up those wires a bit, make them a little bit higher. So it is super floody, as I showed last time. Super floody. So yeah, that's the turbo mode there, hidden turbo mode. It is stepping down. I can see it is getting a little bit dimmer, but it does get hot like straight away, so should expect that. Okay guys, so red mode, I'm just going to show you. This is the highest mode. Super bright. I'm not sure like how many nanometers it's working at, so I'm not sure if the red will be the right color for you, but that's my hand. Wow, that looks really red. No shit. And you can see it on the cubby house there. If we have a look at the trees here, I'm standing behind the camera, so a bit stupid, but that's way too bright. I'll put it down to medium. So that's now medium mode. Still washes it out. Even my hand, let's go low mode. Actually, we'll do medium mode to the cubby house there, and that cubby house is a good 4 meters away from me, so not bad. And we'll go down one more mode, and this is the lowest mode on the red LEDs. And you can still see the cubby house really well. That's my hand. And that's the plants. And I'm standing behind it once again. But not bad. It is super bright. It is a lot brighter than the D25. Okay guys, now we've got the H05B on its turbo mode. We'll compare it to a BLF A6 that has an XHP 50.2 running at direct drive in there, so it does about 2,500 lumens. This is the BLF A6 here with the XHP 50, and the other side, well, everywhere, is the H05B. So it's pretty hard to compare them side by side, but that is it. And they are both getting extremely hot right now. But the H05B steps down, and the BLF A6 doesn't. So one is burning my hand, and the other one is not. So pretty hard to compare them because they are different beam patterns, but everything's going to have a different beam pattern when it's so floody on the H05B. Okay, we'll switch to the next slide now. Okay guys, and just for comparison, I've got the D25L here, which has the Samsung 351H or 351L, whichever it's called, the high CRI. I believe this is the 4000K tint, and this is right now on turbo mode. It's supposed to be 1200 lumens, but yeah, it could be, because it is like still pretty bright, you know. You can see the whole yard pretty good. It is a very nice tint, quite a nice beam. So we'll leave that on. That's on its highest mode, and then we'll double click on the H05B and see what happens. And that's the H05B on there. So you can see it pretty much just floods out the D25L. No comparison. Might turn that down, I think, the D25, the H05B. Which mode is it on? There we go. Alright guys, so all in all, I think the H05B is an awesome buy, very cheap, about $17 US. You get a lot of lumens, over 2,000 lumens. It is a lightweight light, so it does step down, but even if you only use it on the highest mode, it's not too bad. It does have a few little quirks, like it's stepping down, and the modes aren't actually that bad now that I think about it, but it is a little bit hard to learn, considering that they don't give you the instructions. But if you just play with it for a while, I think you'll learn it pretty quick. So yeah, overall I would rate this a pretty good light. If I had to give it out of 10, for the money I'd give it probably like a 6 or a 7. It's a very solid light. It's pretty much up there with something like the BLF A6. For the price, it'll be pretty hard to beat. Alright guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed the review. And remember to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.